Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Monday, November 7th. And fog out there this morning. We got dense fog advisories, especially across some of the southern areas of the state. So do be careful out there on the roadways this morning. And if we look at the headlines, beautiful fall weather expected for the most part this week. We do got some showers that are expected to come through with a cold front on Tuesday, and that could bring, according to the models, just a trace to maybe a tenth of an inch. But I think there's going to be a little bit more moisture return. And I think many areas will see between 500ths to as much as a quarter of an inch. I think the best chance for the heaviest rains would be across the eastern portions of the lower peninsula, closer to, I think, the timing of the cold front coming through during the afternoon hours, and I think that would stand a better chance of seeing that rainfall. And then it's going to be cooler by the weekend with temperatures falling perhaps only into the 40s and 50s over the weekend, so it'll be much cooler. We're going to start stepping down into a little bit colder pattern. Next week looks pretty good though, with lots of 50s, maybe a few 40s. But I think as we get in the week prior to Thanksgiving, right on through Christmas, it could be a very cold and stormy period coming up. So things are going to change, and we are seeing signs of that, but not for a little while yet. We got some pretty decent weather coming up. In fact, I think we could see about 7 days, 6-7 days of dry weather once we get past this rain here on Tuesday. If we look at the conditions around the area yesterday, you can see temperatures quite warm out there, mainly in the mid to upper 60s, and just a trace amount of precipitation, mainly from dew and fog that settled into the gauge. But overall, a very dry pattern continues. And again, if we can get past tomorrow, it looks like another good prolonged period of dry weather. And again, we don't expect a lot of precipitation tomorrow. If we look at the normals for the day, our normal high is 50, the normal low is 33. But if we look at this date back in 1951, we had 1.3 inches of precipitation. We had 11 inches of snow. That was from the Elma area, again, 1951. And this is what the weather map looked like back then. We had a storm system that came up through the northern Ohio Valley and to the north of Lake Erie. And that's the second big storm we've had in 3 or 4 days in this date in history. And again, dropped 11 inches of snow across much of the center part of the lower peninsula. And if we look at a picture, this is from Grand Rapids the morning after that storm. Again, quite a bit of snowfall across this area back in 1951. As far as yesterday, the nation's high temperature was 91 degrees at Lake Esmore. We ain't going to try to pronounce that in California. And the lowest temperature, 16 degrees at Stanley, Idaho. If we look at the conditions around the area this morning, temperatures mainly in the 40s. Again, that's above normal. Normally we should be down, well down into the 30s. So again, quite a bit above normal. We expect a warm day today with temperatures climbing well into the 60s. If we were to see full sunshine, we could possibly hit 70 degrees, but I think the fog and the low clouds are going to kind of hold temperatures down from reaching their maximum. But again, a very warm day out there with temperatures well into the 60s. On the satellite view, you can see that area of moisture that's now streaming up ahead of the next system. Initially, we didn't think there would be much of a connection with the northern stream system, and that certainly looks like it's the case now. So I think there's going to be a little bit more moisture available for this system coming up for Tuesday with that cold front. And I don't think it's going to rain only about a couple of hours in any one given location, as that front will be pretty progressive. So again, after about a 1 to 2, maybe 3 hour period of where we have a window of opportunity for rainfall, we'll see it dry out and skies will clear behind that system. On the radar, you can see that moisture surge that's coming up into the Dakotas. And again, it's that moisture surge out ahead of that cold front that's going to bring us our precipitation chances as it moves our way. And on the map, you can see that cold front this morning extending off to our west. And then by tomorrow morning, that front will be rapidly moving into the state. And again, I think the best timing of this would be after closer to the afternoon hours across the eastern part of the state. In the morning, it's going to be across the western part of the lower peninsula, so there won't be as good of instability that builds up along that front. So the farther east you are in Michigan, I think that's where the most rain fall is likely to fall. And by Wednesday morning, that front is well off to the east. The big area high pressure will dominate our conditions right on through next weekend. Again, I don't think we'll see any rainfall for the rest of the week and into the weekend. So a lot of nice weather out there coming up here over the next several days. And again, you can see the precipitation amounts forecasted by the WPC is quite light, with only trace amounts across central Michigan, maybe a tenth across the east. I think it'll outperform that. I think we have a chance for around a tenth of an inch to possibly a quarter of an inch once you get over towards the thumb area. And if we look at the next 6 to 10 days, Overall, it's going to be a dry period for both the 6 and the 8 to 14 day periods. But over the next 6 to 10 days, you can see that trough we were talking about backing to the east again is going to cool us down somewhat over the weekend. But overall, over the next 6 to 10 days, once we get past the weekend, we warm up just a little bit. But we're going to be close to normal, maybe a little above normal, with the warmest conditions compared to normal off to the west. And if we look at the 8 to 14 day outlook again, looks like we're going to be a pretty mild period again. But it's just beyond that period, I think we start to see some signs that we could turn quite a bit colder beyond that. Again, I think there's a good chance we could see a white Thanksgiving across many portions of the state of Michigan. Thanks for stopping by and have yourself a great day, and 73s to all.